Drinking buddies, I am often called a Heaven Hill hater, and it's just so unfair. I do like Heaven Hill, I just like other distilleries more. But this new ECBP C923 is supposed to be phenomenal. Let's find out.
I'm your drinking buddy.
Well, drinking buddies, so I poured my favorite batch that I tried last year from the Elijah Craig. Now, this might be weird, but my favorite, most people like the C batches the most, but for Elijah Craig last year, my favorite was the A122, 120.8 proof. And my favorite Larceny batch from last year was C922. And I haven't had the C from Larceny yet, but my favorite of the batches so far this year has been B923. I have not bought most of these because they do, 6 batches a year together, and I don't have, something close to $500 to throw away on these bottles every year. Now, will I buy one of them a year? Absolutely. I generally try to figure out which one is the best, and I buy that one, which is what I recommend you guys do. There's not enough differences on these batches that you need to go out and buy all 3 of each. We're at a really odd point because I think this is better than any of the batches last year. I think that the Larceny batch from this year is better than any of the Larceny batches last year. I think that the Booker's Charlie's batch is by far better than any of the batches last year. Why is 2023 slapping so hard on good whiskey? I don't know. But all we can do is dive in. This one's a little funky. This is a little... I am not jiving with this. I do not like this on the nose. It's all heat. It's young grains and peanuts. But the peanuts are very savory. Like I'm thinking like peanut sauce at an Asian restaurant right now. It is very sweet on the palate, so there is that. I think that's one of the Larcenys. It's okay. It's just the thing with these Larcenys. Every time I have one, I like them. They're never terrible. They're just a lot harder to find than some of the Maker's special edition bottles, and I generally like the Maker's stuff more personally. And for wheated bourbons, Makers and Larceny tend to be the most common, easy to find bottles in that category. So that's why I compare them. Often people will be like, why are you comparing Larceny and Makers? And it's because they're the 2 most common, wheated bourbons that you can actually find on shelves. Now, my dear Lord, that is... This nose I found okay, and then going to this one, this is now like an F nose. This is amazing nose. It's dank, it's leathery, but there's also like a little bit of a bright citrusy thing here too. Oak and cinnamon. Awesome. There is some heat coming off of this one. It's drinking about as hot as the first one, but it's a caramel bomb. There's just so much caramel here. Some really nice oak notes. That is like 9 out of 10 good. That is really freaking good. That is... I hope that's this, since I have an entire bottle of it. That's where I'm at right now. Meanwhile, this this is the B522 from Larceny. Is that the one that I just freaking poured? Oh yeah, no. Anyway, this is the B522 from Larceny, and it was my least favorite batch from last year, and I of course have most of a bottle of it, which is kind of funny. This is why this one's for display purposes only. It's not good enough to go on this flight. It's going to end up being Prudent Pappy's. Now this one smells really nice too. It's giving me vibes of this one, just a little bit younger. So this one's more oak. This is more... That bright citrusy note is really coming through on this one with a slight peanut on the finish. There's a little bit of a cherry thing on that. Oh yeah. That's actually, you know what? The more I'm sipping on that, the more I dig it. That one's drinking to me like a baker's, where you get the cherry peanut. Yeah, this one's a bright nose. This is bright, citrusy, honey, very light oak, slight spiciness. Oh yeah, that's really good. I'm gonna, sorry, I didn't give any tasting notes. That's really good is not gonna really get by on YouTube. Peanuts, brown sugar, bourbon vanilla. But I'm gonna go through these again. I can't go through them once, but you know, I'll probably cut this out because you don't want to see the same tasting notes twice. Well, drinking buddies, this has been a wild ride. You know, I'm critical of the Larceny barrel proofs because I want them to be a little bit older. They're about 6 years old, and you know, I just want a little bit more oak out of them. I want a little bit more character out of them, and they drink freaking hot. Like, I have heartburn right now. I don't get heartburn from drinking Hazmat Coy Hill. These things drink hot to me. Okay. Now, having said that, they're not bad whiskey. They're good whiskey. They're just a little bit overpriced and a little too hot and a little too young. Meanwhile, over here, we have what is continuing to be one of the best values in all of whiskey. Now, earlier in the year, people lost their freaking minds because they dropped a 12-year age statement from the front of these bottles and released an 11-year product, which was pretty good, to be honest. But they came right back with a 13-year, 7-month whiskey for under $100. 13-year legacy Kentucky whiskey at barrel proof for under $100. Like, you should probably knock down every liquor store door that you know of to find this bottle, because it is a wonderful bargain. Now, I could have placed it last, but I don't think so. I think the heartburn is hitting me. Anyway, I think I placed the 2 Larcenys last, and I think I placed the 2 Elijah Craigs in the front, but I could be wrong. But either way, 13-year legacy Kentucky whiskey at barrel proof for around $100. Just go buy it. Anyway, let's figure out what we're looking at. This was my least favorite. I think this is one of the Larcenys. Yeah, that's the Larceny 23. So that was the B523. I liked that one more than the A, and right now it is just drinking freaking hot and not that much flavor. It's just more heat than anything. Next up was this one. I think this is going to be one of the Larcenys as well. Yeah, this one's Larceny, the 22. So that's C922, the 126.6 proof. This is the one that people called a Bourbon of the Year candidate last year and like fell in love with. And it's good, but just calling it a Whiskey of the Year candidate, I think, is just silly. It drinks like it's 170 proof, and it's not that good. It's good. It's good. It's not that good. Which means, as I expected, the 2 winners are going to be our Elijah Craigs. I hope the winner is the one I have a full bottle of. This one was the 22. All right. So that was the A122 120.8 proof. Very good whiskey. Very good whiskey. But nowhere near as good as our Elijah Craig barrel proof C923. 133 proof. 13 years, 7 months aged. Run to the stores and buy it before it's gone. If you can get 2, ask for 2, because your friends are going to be trying to ask you for 1. Because it's not Stag Junior good, but it's in that ballpark. It's the same sport. This is in that ballpark. This is in the ballpark as Russell's 13. It really is. It's not as good as Russell's 13. I'm going to be a Buffalo Trace and Russell's fan first. Maybe even Jim Beam before these. But I will be honest, I think this might slap. I think this might slap Charlie's batch all over the place. And Charlie's batch was really good, so. Seagrass, buddy, if you're in the comments, make sure you look for this one, because you like that Booker's profile, you're gonna freaking love this. Anyway, drinking buddies, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you for watching. Every one of you that likes these videos, you makes this channel possible. Every time you subscribe, you are making this work. And for my super fans out there, there is a link down below to become a channel member. We got a great community down there. We have a very active Discord where we're chatting all day, pretty much every day. I'm on there every day, all day, every day. We have a live stream coming up that we're going to do a blind flight on. That's going to be really fun. That one will be available for everyone to see. However, only the channel members and myself will be drinking it. Anyway, drinking buddies, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
I'm your drinking buddy.